Oh no! Not the Briar Patch! Howdy, I'm Don Gillmore, the pipe maker for Don Warren Pipes. I'd like to welcome you to this video segment, the Briar Patch. As a pipe maker, I often am asked, what is briar? Where does briar come from? And what are the differences between the various briars, such as Algerian, Italian, or Grecian briar? I'd like to answer some of those questions in this video segment, and I hope you'll join me for a hot mug of tea or coffee and a bowl of your favorite tobacco in your favorite pipe. So let's get started. Pipe briar comes from a large shrub or small tree known as the heath tree. This is the family Ericaceae and species Erica arborea. The tree grows along the Mediterranean seacoasts of Spain, France, Corsica, Italy, Albania, Greece, and Algeria. The briar that we use in pipe making is formed in the crown or burl of the heath tree. This is a large globular nodule that forms below the ground and above the roots that go much deeper to gather minerals and water, and the trunk of the tree. Here's an illustration of what a briar root ball looks like. There are two images here. One is a root ball that is only about 40 years old, and the other one is 200 to 300 years old. As you can see from the illustration, the 200 to 300-year-old root ball is over 2 feet in diameter, as compared to the 40-year-old root ball, which may be the size of a small football or soccer ball. Briar has been used for pipe making commercially since about the 1830s, and I would suspect that all of the much older 200 to 300-year-old root balls have already been harvested or are very rare if they exist at all. So what we find today are the much smaller 40 to 100-year-old root balls that are cut up and used for pipe making. Some countries have started briar farming projects, but this is an extremely long-term project, since the earliest you would want to harvest a root ball would be between 40 and 100 years from now. What I have here is the root ball of a North American member of the Ericaceae family. This is called Manzanita. It grows along the western coast of North America. Its genus is Arctostaphylos, so it's not the same genus and species as the pipe briar of the Mediterranean, but it has a very similar growth pattern. As you can see, the growth is globular nodules that come out in irregular places, and some of these places are where bark on the outer surface gets encapsulated in the growing bark and becomes an inclusion that a pipe maker has to work around in a briar block. The other thing that's interesting about this piece of Manzanita is that you can see the similar radial growth patterns, but what's important to note is that those growth patterns are not symmetrical like they might be in the trunk of a domestic hardwood, such as maple or walnut or oak. they grow out in spurts. They start, they stop, they twist, they turn. So the grain of the briar block can be very irregular. The other thing to know about manzanita is that during World War II, when shipping was restricted to wartime products and briar was unavailable from the Mediterranean, some pipe makers used manzanita to make pipes. It's also very dense, like briar. I don't know if the root balls grow as large. And Kay Woody called their manzanita pipes mission briars. This ends part 1 of the Briar Patch. I hope I've answered some of your questions about what is briar, how does it grow, where does it grow, what does a root ball look like. In part 2, we'll discuss more about the briar blocks themselves and the differences between the regional briars such as Italian, Algerian, and Grecian briar. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll tune in to part 2 of the Briar Patch and subscribe to my channel for more advice. Thank you very much.